the evening news. I am Babatunde Fanowopo. Some Nigerians have demanded an investigation into the allegations by a United States Congressman, Scott Perry, that the United States Agency for International Development funded terrorist organizations, including Boko Haram. Perry, a Republican representing Pennsylvania, claimed during the inaugural hearing of the Subcommittee on Delivering on Government Efficiency. The session titled "The War on Waste, Stamping Out the Scourge of Improper Payment and Fraud" focused on alleged misappropriations of taxpayers' funds. President Donald Trump has suspended USAID and other aid programs, accusing them of corruption. The lawmaker alleged that the U.S. aid agency funded terrorist organizations, including Boko Haram, to the tune of $697 million annually. In a video that went viral, Perry said, "Who gets some of that money? Does that name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipment of cash funds in madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS, Khorasan, terrorist training camps, that's what it's funding." Perry's allegation came amid growing concerns from Nigerian authorities regarding financial support mechanisms sustaining Boko Haram. In a recent interview, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, expressed concerns about how international non-government organizations operate in conflict zones, particularly in the northeast, where Boko Haram and ISWAP insurgents are active. The Nigeria Police Force has neutralized 7 terrorists and recovered 23 firearms along with assorted ammunition in recent operations across the country. In a statement issued via X, the Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi said the operations were part of efforts to dismantle criminal networks and enhance internal security. The statement noted that on February 14, armed men invaded Gobiraje village in Suru local government area of Kebbi State and kidnapped a 60-year-old man, Umaru Bawa. Police operatives in Kebbi State trailed the suspect to Tudan Farik Forest in the Dakingari axis, where they engaged the kidnappers in a gun duel, killing 4 of them and arresting 1 with fatal injuries. The victim was rescued unhurt, and the sum of $3 million already paid as ransom was recovered. Similarly, on 8 February, police operatives in Imo State, in collaboration with other security agencies, raided an IPOB ESN terrorist camp in Ezioha, Abaitolu, Umuele, Umuaka, and Jaba local government area. 2 ESN kingpins were neutralized and security forces recovered 7 AK-47 rifles, 13 pump-action guns, and hundreds of rounds of live ammunition. These operations, according to Olumuyiwa, not only reflect the force's commitment to maintaining law and order, but also demonstrate its determination to dismantle criminal networks that threaten the safety of citizens. Osun State government has threatened to thwart what it calls the plan to illegally take over the local government in the state, as planned by the state chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Governor Ademola Adeleke stated this while addressing a World Press Conference in Osogbo, the state capital. According to the governor, the planned illegal takeover is being led by a minister of the federal government, Mr. Gboyega Oyetola, over the APC inability to discern the provisions of the Court of Appeal judgment or deliberate wish to cause chaos on the 2022 local government election in Osun State. The governor speaks further.
I know Mr. President to be a true Democrat, a lover of rule of law, believer in the sanctity of the judicial process. I know, as a matter of fact, that Mr. President will never authorize a dictatorial violation of the Constitution, irrespective of who is involved. It is crucial to add that Mr. President will never support any action that is capable of generating bloodbath and bloodshed. I, however, regret to inform Mr. President and the public that Mr. Koyego Itola has concluded an arrangement to cause mayhem in Osun State starting from Monday.
Also speaking, the State Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General, Mr. Jimmy Bada, explained that the portion of the judgment being held by the APC as according to the Court of Appeal became an academic exercise.
The Court of Appeal at page 49 and 50, the last paragraph of page 49, if I'm those readers. Now, since it is the position of this court that there is no valid or regulating process to provide jurisdiction of the lower court to hear and determine the claim of the first respondent, there is no point in considering the remaining issues. A consideration of the two remaining issues has now become an academic exercise, which this court is not prepared to venture into.
In his own contribution, the Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Oluomo Kolapo Alimi, who is also a lawyer, said the APC lawyers know the truth, but only want to use the opportunity to whip up sentiment in favor of their party.
And since there are two separate judgments, one obtained by the PDP, yes and no, another one obtained by the APP, the two parties are different. The two judgments with two different suits. The two suits were never consolidated at the Federal High Court. The Court of Appeal gave the two judgments in different dates. And so the two judgments stand, and from the two judgments, the elections were annulled. And the council chairman and the councillor, they were asked to vacate.
In the meantime, Governor Ademola Adeleke has been consistent in paying some of the accrued pensions owed by previous administrations since he assumed office till date. The Permanent Secretary, Local Government Staff Pensions Bureau, Mr. Ibrahim Akibu, disclosed these as guest on Imoleayo, a sensitization program on OSBC radio and television channels. Mr. Akibu pointed out that the Adeleke administration on assumption of office 2 years ago made payments to contributory and old pensioners who retired from the local government service as well as retired primary school teachers in the state. He remarked that such payments amount to multi-billion naira, which supersede what the two previous APC governments paid in 12 years. Emphasizing that Governor Adeleke has paid all entitlement of those who retired between 2008 and 2011, the PS Local Government Staff Pensions Bureau said that entitlement of retired local government staff and primary school teachers in 2012 are currently being paid. He commended the present administration in Osun State for its renewed commitment to accelerate the payment process, stressing that pensioners and other stakeholders are aware of sustained efforts by the current government to pay up the inherited pensions. Mr. Akibu noted that Governor Adeleke has the best interest of workers and pensioners at heart by extending the new minimum wage to retired local government staff and primary school teachers, while death benefits of disease workers are also being paid to their families. The Oloba of Oboki, Oba Adam Yusuf Bakari Isutola II, has commended the Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, for his developmental strides in the state in the areas of health, education, agriculture, and road infrastructure, among others. The monarch who gave the commendation at the 26th Oboke Day celebration equally appealed to the governor to help in the completion of the health center, which has remained uncompleted since 1982 during the era of late Chief Bola Ige in the old Oyo State. He expressed appreciation to the sons and daughters of Oboke at home and the diaspora for their cooperation and support towards the developmental drive in the town. The monarch commended the state governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, for his unprecedented performance in different sectors as reflected in the developmental projects ongoing in different parts of the state. In his remarks, the Ataja of Oshobo Land and Royal Father of the Day, Oba Jimoh Olanipekunlaroye II, implored the people of Oboke to remain steadfast and united in their developmental drive, adding that no meaningful development can take place in an environment full of rancor. Earlier in his address of welcome, Chairman of Oboke Development Union, Pastor Remi Abidogun, stated that the town is blessed with fertile lands for the cultivation of crops such as cocoa, kola nut, rice, cassava, yam, pepper, and plantains, among others. The United States Embassy in Abuja and the Consulate General in Lagos will temporarily close tomorrow in observance of President's Day. A statement posted on X by the diplomatic mission confirmed the closure and assured the public that normal operations will resume on Tuesday. And on to sports. Manchester United winger Amad Diallo is set to undergo surgery next week after suffering an ankle injury, effectively ruling him out for the remainder of the season. Football transfer expert Fabrizio Romano reported that the club's full focus will now be on ensuring Diallo is in top shape for the next campaign. According to Romano, Man United's current plan is for Amad Diallo to undergo surgery next week after suffering ankle injury. His season almost over and full focus will be on getting in best shape for the next season. Now on the foreign scene, a crash at New Delhi railway station has left around 18 people dead and at least 10 injured. Thousands of people reportedly crammed into the railway station last night as they tried to board delayed trains. 4 of the victims were children, while 10 were women, according to a list released by officials. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said his thoughts were with all those who have lost their loved ones in a post on X. Crowd crushes are common in India, where there is frequent overcrowding at religious events, festivals, and public spaces. And that ends the evening news on Osbc TV. Join us at 7 for Deadline. Good evening.
ọdún fi yí lọ abúlé ìrètí ni mo wà ó nígbà tó kù kínkín kọ́dún lọ mú kojú mi sókè.